That's it. Bayside. Bayside Yacht.
Welcome back to Murder of Sherlock Holmes Part 2. And we find Jessica she's still in New York City. She's talking to the Chowder King and about why the private detective got murdered instead of him, because she thinks that someone was trying to kill the Chowder King and not the private detective. And the Chowder King tells her that, like, nobody would want to kill me because, like, if my wife wouldn't get anything and my business is just me. So if I die, then everything will be ruined. And Jessica really doesn't understand all this, but, she's talking to the Chowder King on his boat. He wears a weird hat. He really does play into the Chowder King situation. It's an odd job to have. Grady, he's watching television. He's been accused of murder, but he's like watching the ball game. And Jessica calls him. She wants to break into his office, the Chowder King's office, to like, find out that he didn't murder anybody. And also 80s lady comes in while Jessica is doing a little breaking and entering. And she's, and she almost gets caught, Jessica, but she doesn't. 80s lady, makes a phone call and Jessica eavesdrops on it, and she 100% thinks 80s lady is the murderer and she was trying to kill the Chowder King. And Jessica like rolls out into the street and try to get a cab to try to follow 80s lady. She literally, I'm not making this up, you can see that she is in the middle of the street, but she gets a bus instead, because a bus, follows. If you want to follow somebody, get into a bus. Oh, that's not true. But 80s lady, she gets off her bus, and Jessica gets harmed by young Andy Garcia, who tries to kill her. But then, like, she gets saved by a fan of her work. A young street fan, she gets back to her hotel with, her new boyfriend, Grady, and Grady's girlfriend. And they get a bunch of newspapers to try to find 80s lady's boyfriend, the guy that writes musicals. He was also at the party. He was playing the piano. And anyway, they go to the theater, and he's getting this sad play together. And they think that he and 80s lady were trying to kill the Chowder King, but they were trying to blackmail the Chowder King, but they weren't trying to kill him. They were just blackmailing him. And then the police show up at the Chowder King's yacht, and Chowder King really did die. Oh, that's not right. Of course, Grady then is exonerated, and the Chowder King's wife is pulled in. Jessica thinks that the Chowder King's wife is innocent, but, she can't prove anything. But Grady's off the hook, so that's the best part. So she's like going to go back to Maine because everything's fine, I guess. And then she's trying to get her stuff back to Maine. She still believes that lady did not kill her husband, but, got to get back to Maine. Anyway, she gets off the train. She's like, oh, no, she figured something out. I didn't figure it out at all, but she figured it out. Anyway, her Silver Fox boyfriend gets a call that Jessica is at his house, his cool house that they had the party in. She's there. She's doing her thing. She's breaking and entering again. Because Jessica, she does break it and entering, like, quite a bit. Like, at this show, she's above the law, this one. Anyway, the Silver Fox, he comes back, and he's like, what you doing, girl? And she's like, solving the murder. Basically, yes, she did solve the murder. It is that he is the killer. Sad. He's the killer. Because he has been leading like a secret life. He had gone to jail, and then he escaped prison somehow and was just living this like fantastic life, assumed identity, I assume. And then like the private detective caught up with him, and like it was going to ruin everything. So he like dressed him in the Chowder King costume and acted like the Chowder King was going to die. But the private investigator, I guess, was the target all along. And then the Chowder King, he had to kill the Chowder King because the Chowder King, was too close to the action. I thought he was going to kill Jessica, but he did not. He just like, I got to turn myself in to the police. And she's like, okay. And then she goes back to Maine. That was it. I loved it, though. I thought it was a great episode. It was a great episode for us to meet the second episode. But it was a good episode for us to see Jessica Fletcher in all her glory, solving mysteries and breaking enterings. I loved it. I will see you all next time on Murder, She Wrote, and I will watch some Murder, She Wrote. It's exciting times. Okay. Bye, everybody.